What's up, everybody? It is I, your friendly neighborhood Tony, aka TTBurger88, with more TTBurger game reviews here. And here we are with another multi-part review. This is episode 133, part 1 of 2. Once again, a 2-part review. Now, those of you who were kids in like the 80s, 90s, and the 70s and stuff like that, all that stuff, knew of the comic book company called Marvel. Marvel needs no introduction. They were known for making some very iconic and popular superhero characters like Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, the X-Men, Fantastic Four, Iron Man, and more and more and more. And people probably knew about them through the comics, the TV shows, the cartoons, the video games, and more and more and more. And you're probably wondering, what am I talking about here? Well, today we're going to be looking at some Marvel games based on the character Spider-Man. And Spider-Man was always my favorite Marvel character because I liked his power, how he could swing from rooftop to rooftop, and how he's pretty much can crawl like a fucking cool arachnid and stuff. And Spider-Man was always badass along with the Hulk and X-Men and all that stuff. But that's kind of off topic there. And I already reviewed a Spider-Man game, which I'll put in the link below to. It's called Marvel Spider-Man, which was released exclusively for the PlayStation 4 and by Insomniac Games. So check it out if you can, because it's on my channel, and the link is in the description below. But for today's episode, we're going to go back in time a little bit when the PlayStation was still around, and we're going to be looking at some 3D Spider-Man games on the PlayStation itself. And for part 1, we're going to be looking at Spider-Man. And part 2, we look at Spider-Man 2, Enter Electro. We have a lot to talk about here, so let's get started here with talking about the original 3D Spider-Man game, the first Spider-Man game, to be exact, called Spider-Man. It was released in the year 2000, actually August 30th, 2000, and it was made by Activision and Neversoft Entertainment. This game was released on the PlayStation, the Nintendo 64, the Dreamcast, and the PC, but this is the only version it has, so we're going to be looking at that. Now, like I said before, this was the first full 3D Spider-Man video game ever made, and it definitely holds up really well for the very first 3D Spider-Man game. It has a few annoyances in it that could have been ironed out, but for the most part it still holds up really well, and it is a great game in the end. Now let's talk about the story here. The story stars our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker, who was at Dr. Otto Octavius' Science Expo when things go crazily wrong. Someone is dressed up as a Spider-Man and attacked the security guards and stole Dr. Octavius' technology. And aside from that, though, Spider-Man is being blamed for this because they dressed up in an exact costume like him. He wants to find out who it is. Not only that, Eddie Brock is there, and he turned into Venom while this was all going on. So it's got the symbiote part of the story going on too. And now Peter Parker, aka the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, must find out who's behind these shenanigans and clear his name. The story is great, and it feels like you're playing as in an episode of one of the cartoons, mainly Spider-Man 1994 or Spider-Man Unlimited. But now let's get things back on track here. The graphics are my least favorite part of the game. The graphics are not very good, even by PlayStation standards and stuff. The character models look okay. They could have been better. The backgrounds are bright and colorful, and the frame rate is decent. But the cutscenes that the game gives you are awful. They look as if they took the in-game character models and put them in the CG cutscenes and just high-res them a little bit. And they do not look very good. Their mouths don't even move at all. They just kind of gesture around while the voiceover plays, and just could have been better graphics, what I mean. And like, yeah, graphics just are my least favorite part of the game. Now for the sound, we got excellent sound. The voice acting is great. In fact, actors from the two Spider-Man cartoons I mentioned, Spider-Man 1994 and Spider-Man Unlimited, are here to reprise their roles. Rito Romano voices Spider-Man. He does a great job at portraying Spider-Man himself. And you also have Jennifer Hale voicing Black Cat. And the best part about it is Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel, and Mr. Marvel himself, is the narrator and talks about like what happens with Peter Parker and Spider-Man and stuff. And it's funny that like I should mention here, like in the menu you have 4 difficulty selections, like easy, normal, and hard. But you also have kid mode, which is like basically for the kids who pretty much don't want to solve those crazy puzzles and stuff. And when you highlight kid mode, a different voice will say, "Kid mode, kid mode, kid mode, kid mode." Kid mode, and over and over, and it's funny. In fact, like I would play the clip there, but I'm sure people can find it online there. So just saying that because I'm not playing in kid mode, because why would I play in kid mode when I like challenge in video games? That would just beat the purpose of like enjoying the game, the challenge, definitely. So just saying there, but I just had to let that out there. And the music is great. We have some rock action tunes during the game, and the game is just badass stuff with the music. Like, feels like it's all action and upbeat, and just ready to let you know that Spider-Man's here to save the day and kick some ass. Now for the gameplay, it has the 3 F's here: fun, fun, and fun. Like I said, it's the first 3D Spider-Man game, and it does a great job. You basically do what Spider-Man does: stopping the bad guys, rescuing the hostages, and more and more and more. The best part about the game is web swinging. It is a lot of fun to do the swing from one point to another, like holding down the R2 button and just swinging and swinging and swinging until you latch onto a building. And you can also web your enemies as well, like Spider-Man, do special web attacks on them. And it makes you feel like you are Spider-Man kicking ass. And you also pick up certain items to throw at the enemies at the wall, or you just want to pick them up and throw them, and it's really cool too. And the combat is awesome. Being Spider-Man in general is awesome. You fight certain familiar bosses like Scorpion, Mysterio, Dr. Octavius, and more and more and more. You have a lot of fun doing this stuff. And it's a great game overall. But now for the bad. The game is short, like only 5 hours to beat. And sure, when you beat the game, you can unlock costumes, which will give you special abilities like infinite webbing and stuff. But again, like to like play the game again to unlock more costumes like that, it just stays the same for the most part, except for like the little special of the costume stuff, and it just pretty much stays the same. I mean, it has replay value to it, but it just really stays the same, and it's just short. And also, the game is way too easy for the most part. Sure, it does get harder near the end, but for the most part, the game is just really easy, and and veterans of action like this will just breeze through them and no problem whatsoever, like in 5 hours or less. But aside from those bad parts there, the game is still awesome. Like, it's just, the game is still amazing and fun to play, and it's definitely worth it if you want some action with Spider-Man. So my final thoughts here are: pick up Spider-Man for the PlayStation or whatever consoles you have. Being like, they're pretty much the same across the board, except like the N64 does not have the cutscenes because of the hardware limitations, and the voice sounds a little muffled. But still, this game is worth it no matter what console you do get it on. So my final verdict here is: you want a Spider-Man game? You want to play as the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in 3D in video game with the PlayStation? Then here you go. It's definitely worth it. Due to the complaints I have with the game, I will not be giving it a perfect 10, but I can give it a 9 out of 10 because of how great it is and stuff. There take some points off there, but it's not going to hurt the game overall. And that's it for episode 133, part 1 of 2. Fear not, we're not done yet. Episode 133, part 2 of 2, we're going to look at the sequel, Spider-Man 2, Enter Electro, exclusive to the PlayStation, released in 2001. How does this game fare from its predecessor? Find out next, which is all I gotta say. And those of you who are new here and like the video, feel free to subscribe, like the video, comment down below, join my Discord group, TTBurger Gaming Tonight, who's always looking for more people to join, and always looking forward to talking to my fans and stuff like that. And the Discord group is getting bigger and bigger each day, so be on the lookout and just join my Discord group. The link is in the description below. That's pretty much all I gotta say. This is Tony, peace out, and see you all in episode 133, part 2 of 2.